What's up guys, welcome to the Sound Design channel. So today we're going to look at a really nice strong deep bass for melodic techno. So let's have a little look at the sound. And we'll just play it with some drums so you get some context. Cool, yeah, it's really like heavy, deep sound. All the other sounds that you heard are from the Chios pack. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly. I'm really sorry if I'm not. It's from the pack through PML. He's actually one of my favorite artists. He's signed to Stillborn Talent, and I'm really happy that they collaborated and made a pack together, PML and Chios. Yeah, there's this nice drum rack here that I've been working in. It's just, yeah, it's really handy. But I'm not going to do a video on that today. We're going to look at this bass. So this bass here it's mostly the synth itself, but I've done quite a bit of external processing, which has helped bring out the sound quite a lot. And we're going to go over that as well. So we're going to actually recreate everything from scratch. But the sound is taken from preset by the Organica pack. It's a Diva preset, and it's called Another Organic Bass. I didn't do anything else to it. I didn't touch it. It's just as it is, and it sounds really, really, really good. So let's recreate it. What I'm going to do is just set up a new MIDI channel. Then we'll drag over this MIDI, start it from here, solo this, stay in this area, and then we'll get Diva open. Go. Yeah, you could start from here, but we're going to start all the way from a template. The template is the MS Rev 1, which is based off the Korg M1, like classic synth. All these modules are based off classic synths. So the first thing you want to do when you're making a sound within or whatever is you want to look at the voicing, so the oscillators, which is in this area here for Diva. So we're going to use two oscillators because that's all that we can use in this mode. So we're going to have the first oscillator actually turned down, and it's going to be a noise oscillator, and then the second oscillator is going to be a sawtooth. You can hear it's a sawtooth, and that's a noise. And so the second oscillator, we want it to be loud because it's the sawtooth, so it's like the main tone of the sound. And then the first oscillator is just a little bit of noise that's going to be engaged there. So we'll actually not have too much noise, just a little bit. So if we listen now, I'm worried it's going to be a bit loud actually. I'll just bring this cutoff down. Yeah, so you can hear a bit of noise. Let me just turn it off. It's a lot more plain. Make sure you've got headphones on or good monitors so you can actually hear this. But if I exaggerate this, so that's what we're adding, a little bit of noise, and it does make a nice difference to the sound. Anyway, what we want to do is make it nice and bassy. So for the sawtooth, we want it to be quite low. I'm going to go to 16, and then the noise oscillator, we want it to be a bit higher in tone. But what we need to do is actually transpose the entire thing down an octave, so it's going to be real deep. There we go, now we've got that bass. Next thing we need to do is do a little bit of tune modding. Or a pitch envelope is going to be applied essentially. So this second envelope, which is over here, is going to give the sound a bit of a zoom. Well, I'll show you actually. It's probably better if I show you rather than try to make the sound with my mouth. So yeah, that's what I was trying to do. It's giving it a vroom. We want to do a real quick. So the quicker the decay, or the lower the decay, the quicker that effect will be. We don't want it to be too evident. Maybe you do want it to be, so you can just increase it, which is a really cool sound. But that's nice. Just a little bit. Okay, so we need to move to here now. I think we're actually going to leave this. We're not going to touch it. We'll bring that cutoff down. So then we're getting the full. If you bring this cutoff up, it acts like a bandpass essentially, or an EQ in a way. So then this section here, the filter section, we're going to change this to multi-mode. And then what we're going to do is bring the cutoff right down. And then we're going to change this to envelope 1. We're using this envelope to really shape the sound. Add a bit of release. There we go. There we go. Just about there. Sounds good to me. Bit of key tracking. So it's going to manipulate the filter depending on where it plays on the keyboard. So if I let it play a bit, yeah, the higher it's going, the more that it's opening up, which is a really nice effect. We're going to add a little bit of an LFO, so we're going to bring this down. Actually, not that much around here, but the LFO is going to be going negatively, so it's going to start by closing the cutoff filter, then opening it up. So we need to look down here and actually change the settings of this. I mean, that works. You can feel it going whoom, whoom. But we're just going to make it a little bit smoother with a sine wave. We're going to put this on random from where it starts, and we're going to change this to 1/8. Now you're getting this kind of effect, but then we just slow it down a bit. Yeah. Now it feels like really alive. Next thing we need to do is add some effects. We're going to add a phaser. We're going to bring the wet down to around 9 o'clock, or 22. So it's not going to be strongly phasing. It adds just a little something, a little bit of magic. And then the plate is where the real oomph comes in. It is adding a lot of width to the sound, and people would recommend that you don't put a reverb directly on your bass, but you can get away with it as long as you're making sure that your real lows are in mono. This is a really nice way you can add some real depth and width to your bass, especially like the mid area of the bass. But what we want to do, I need to look at the screenshot that I have here because I can't remember exactly settings. Yeah, so the wet is around here, so it's not too drowned in reverb. There's quite a bit of the dry. The size is all the way over, so it's absolutely huge. And there's a bit of decay here. And then the damp, so this kind of acts like an EQ. So if I put this all the way over, it kind of kills the EQ. So if you have a little bit, now you can hear it. Just a little bit there. Diffusion is all the way over here. Actually adding a little bit of a wobble to the reverb. And then a bit of pre-delay. So this is a delay until the reverb is engaged. It's actually reverbing the end of not the end, but maybe the middle of the bass after it's been hit. So from there, what we want to do is put it into mono. Nice. And then we're going to put the quality into divine. What we want to do is actually put the multi-core on. This is going to use less CPU. It doesn't really change the quality that much. But then here, we're going to put this on 16 voices, so it's absolutely huge. Then we're going to stack those 16 voices by 4. Now it's a beast. This will use a lot of CPU, so you know, if you can't get away with doing this, then don't, and reduce these voices and stacking, because you can still get a nice solid sound out of it without this happening, without these modifications. But it does help. Next thing, we're just going to look here on the volume modifications. I'm going to just reset this so it's not doing any decreasing of the volume with the envelope. This is being engaged with LFO 1. And then the LFO 2, the pan mod is on random. So it's going to randomly pan a little bit, but a very small amount. Cool. Ooh, I like this stuff. The LFO mod. It's nice. Cool, so yeah, the LFO 1 is actually, it's over here, and what it's doing is just, it's modulating the volume a little bit, like pretty quickly, essentially. Yeah, it's a nice effect. So let's move to the external processing, which is quite extensive, but I'm going to show you everything. So we'll delete this, what I have here, and then we will add a saturator, and we're going to add a glue compressor. We're going to add OTT, and we're going to add a limiter. And then we're going to add a utility. So let's start with the saturator. Saturator, we're going to add a bit of drive around there. Let me have a look. 4, sorry. This is going to just warm the sound, and also does compress it a little bit. But with the dry wet, we're going to bring it right down. And the other thing that I need to do is actually turn the sound down a bit. It's a bit loud. Go to there. So what we're going to do with this processing is we're going to add a bit of volume to the sound, but we're also going to add volume to parts of the sound which are more quiet. So like the reverb and like the noise that's in there, it's all going to be evened out a little bit and compressed and things like that. So we're going to leave this here. The saturator is all good. The compressor, we're going to just compress a little bit. So just around 3 dB, 5 dB. Press it, and then we're going to make up for that. So those first initial hits are going to be capped a little bit, and then the sustainer is going to be brought up in volume. Then we're going to add OTT. This is going to really boost it. That sounds epic already, but we're actually going to bring down this amount. Because basically what was happening with it at full amount, it was really compressing the low end, so you were losing quite a bit of the meat and the sub. And we can actually reduce that downward compression on the sub layer, or the low layer, quite a bit. There we go. So we're just capping it a little bit. We can actually bring out a bit of the tops. Yeah, nice. Limiting now, so we just want to control the volume of the sound. I'm going to actually bring this around minus 10 dB. I don't mind this much gain reduction on the limiter. As long as I'm not hearing any digital distortion, it's all good, and it's actually really like compressing the sound now. So with the release, I do want to just take it off at auto and put it so it's a little bit quicker. I'm just going to reduce the volume a little bit here. Or you could do it here. Alright, so then the utility, this is going to take care of that really low stereo information. So I'm making sure that it's mono below 120 Hertz. And there we go, we've got the sound. Whoa, it's huge. Alright, cool. So let's have a listen now with everything playing. See if it sounds good. Turn off that one. Have a little play. Cool, that is the sound. I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and you learned something. Let us know in the comments if you did. Make sure that you like the video and you share it with all of your friends, and hit the notification button once you've subscribed so you don't miss out on any more of our content. My name is La. I run a channel called Out of the Loop. You can go check that out on YouTube. And yeah, that is it. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.